Welcome to Digital Japanese class. I'm Satoshi Sensei, and I will be your teacher for your nihongo lesson. So if this is your first time to look at my channel, please like, share, and comment to get the daily updates, and you will be updated on our lessons on Facebook, on YouTube. So be ready with your notebook and pen because we will get ready and start with our lesson today. じゃあ始めましょう. Now, today we will talk about our lesson 1. It's our first day of our lesson and I'm excited to teach you about the lesson 1. Let's go ahead with our vocabulary. Our first word is we have our watashi. It means I. In Japanese, they don't have any plural form, but they have the groupings by adding the suffix of tachi by making we. Then anata is we have for our you. But we say this only for the first time. If you know the person already the name, don't use anymore the anata. Next is we have anohito for our plain form, that person. But to make it polite, we have anokata. Minna-san, all of you for our suffix or to address a person, or everyone, ladies and gentlemen, or all of you. Then in Japanese, we have our san, which is actually genderless. So there is no Mr. and Miss, but instead this is for genderless, both for male and female. We have for a chan in order for us to add it to a child's name. It can be also added to a pet's name. We have for our kun, this is for a suffix to address a boy's name. Next one is we have for our jin. This is a suffix in order for us to recognize the nationality. So you will have the country adding jin, so that makes now a nationality of the person. So for example, you want to say Nihon as a Japan, then adding jin, it makes that Nihon jin. Or Philippine, then adding jin, Philippine jin. Now, this is the word that how you call me. We have sensei, it means teacher. Actually, sensei is not only limited for teacher, it can be also for doctor, pastors, or something that we ask for an advisor. The right word for me, or the profession, is kyoshi, for the instructor. Then we have our gakse, for our student. Then we have our kaishain, company employee. It comes from the word kaisha, it means company. When we have the in of the suffix, it becomes a person. So it's a company person, it becomes company employee. But if you will have a certain name of a company, adding our name of the company, then no shine. So for example, if I work at Nintendo, Nintendo no shine. Next is we have our ginkoin. Remember, in is a suffix for the person. It comes from the word of ginko. It means bank. So we add in, it becomes ginkoin, bank employee. Then we have our word here for our isha and kenkusha. If you will take a look, both of them ended with sha. Okay, because that is for the sha is a suffix for the person. So we have isha for our doctor. Then Q means research, but sha become a person, researcher. Then we have our katakana, engineer. Next is we have our Daigaku for university, then our byoin for hospital. But when you say byoin, it's a beauty parlor, so careful. Then denki for our light, Then dare for who. To make it polite, we have our donata. We have our sai for the suffix for the age. Then to make it a question, we have nansai. Or to make it polite, we have oikutsu. Then we have hai ie for yes and no. Shitsure desu ga, excuse me, but. Then onamae wa, it means what is your name. Hajimemashite, how do you do? We have our dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu, meaning pleased to meet you. Then if we want to introduce someone, we use our kochira wa blank san desu. Then if you want to say I came from this place, we're gonna say blank kara kimashita. So that will be a place. Now let's go on with the countries. Then for our first word, we have our America for our USA, Igirisu for United Kingdom, Indo for our India, Indonesia for our Indonesia, Kankoku for South Korea, Thais for our Thailand, and Chugoku for China. Then we have our Deutsche for Germany, Nihon for our Japan, Furansu France, Burajiru for our Brazil, then Philippines. Then we have our Taiwan. So take note, this is in hiragana. So that is Taiwan. Then for our reference word and information, we have for our country, people, and language. In English, when we say Japanese, it has two meanings. It's the person and the language. But in the Japanese, or for in Nihongo, it's not the case. They have different words that we're gonna use in that. So let's go first with our nationality. So we have first the country, then adding Jane, that becomes a nationality. Like earlier, we talked about the Indo for our country. So if we're gonna use or add the G for our suffix, it becomes Indo-G. How about we have our Korean? We have Kankoku G. Kankoku G. So that is for our nationality. Then for our language, we have our country. Then we're gonna add the suffix of go, okay, for the language. That's the reason we have our subject or what we're learning, nihongo. Okay? Country plus go, it becomes the language, nihongo. So for example, we have our Indo go, it becomes Hindi language. Now, as I said earlier, for our Japan, when we say for the Nihon, that is for the country. Then, how about it will become a person? Do we still use Nihon? not anymore. So then we will use the suffix of ji. So from there, we will have the nationality of Nihonji. But once we add the suffix of bo, it will become nihongo, which is the language. Then we have our word chugo. Okay? So this will become for our China, okay? For the country. But if you will have our go as a suffix, that will become the Mandarin for the language. Because we have chugoku. Then jin is for our Chinese, chugokujin. Then we have our kankoku go, which is the language, because the go is a suffix. But we have the original word from kankoku, which means South Korea. Then jin, it becomes the nationality, kankoku-jin. Now let's go on with our country that can speak English. Okay, so like for our first country here, we have America, Canada, 이기리스, Australia. So this country speaks English. So we don't say America go, Canada go, 이기리스 go, or also Australia go. So what we use instead is ego. Now, let's go on now with our grammar explanation. So make sure that your ball pen and your notebook are ready to take notes of these patterns. Together, we have with our dinosaur. So he will use his happa or his leaf, so we can together learn about the power of learning the grammar. First grammar point, we have noun 1 what, noun 2 this. This is before it is a topic of the sentence. So to select a noun you want to talk about, we add this particle to show that the topic and give the statement about the topic. While this is our predicate that involves assertion or also toward, you are like saying like polite to the listener. Let's go on with these grammar points. 私は田尻聡です。ピカチュウはポケモンです。かすみちゃんはポケモントレーナーです。So if you see here, we are able to follow the grammar pattern from noun 1 wa, noun 2 des. Next one is noun 1, noun 2, jarimasen. This is the negative form of this. So if you want to say that is not true or the information is not true, like saying it's not, we use our de wa arimasen for written form or ja arimasen. But for speaking, we can use our janai desu. Next, let's go on with this example. Kasumi-chan wa kenkyusha ja arimasen. Okido Yukinari Hakase wa Pokemon no kenkyusha desu. Next, the particle ga. So it has two meaning. It can be a question, and the second one is like a confirmation of saying like or for two items or two nouns that we have. So for example, A desu ka, B desu ka, we can use for that one. So for example, asking your name, onamae wa nan desu ka? Or where do you live, we can use doko ni sunde imasu ka? Or asking where did you come from, doko kara kimashita ka? Then for our ka, like you are not sure, kore wa A desu ka? B desu ka? We can use that pattern for the ka as an or. So let's see this example. Onamae wa nan desu ka? Takeshi-san wa gakusei desu ka? Kyoshi desu ka? Ah, gakusei desu. Then our mo is added for the same information that we have for an A, then second with the B statement here. So if we're saying here that there are two information are the same for two topics, the second sentence will become mo. So example here, Kasumi-chan wa gakusei desu. Takeshi-san mo gakusei desu. Then no is to connect two nouns that we have. So like saying watashi no namae wa, then nani nani desu. this example, we have watashi wa nihongo no kyoshi desu. So we have two nouns here, the nihongo and the kyoshi, and we're combining one. Okay, thank you for watching this channel. I hope you'll learn a lot with our lesson 1. Now, if you haven't subscribed, like, share, and comment with us, please, I hope you do that so you will be able to know the updated lessons that we have in our channel. Arigatou gozaimashita. Otsukare-sama deshita. Minna, mata ne!